guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna sound a little bit hoarse, and I'm just asking you to bear with me so I can get this out. This video is gonna be raw and uncut for the simple purpose that I don't care anymore. I'm done protecting people. It's time I start protecting myself, and it's time I start speaking my truth. So I just got out of the hospital for the 7th time in the last 2 years. For those of you that are new to my channel, I was in an abusive marriage for 12 years. He was my best friend. He was my first love. He was my everything. We met high school days, and we decided to do things the right way and start a family and build together, build a life together. And somewhere along the line, he changed for the worse. His excuse is I made him feel insecure because I was doing just a tiny little bit better than him. And no matter what I did or how hard I tried to make him feel equal to me, he just didn't. That relationship traumatized me. Sorry guys, somebody called me. Yeah, that relationship traumatized me, but it only traumatized me because of the simple fact that I had an abusive childhood. Before I met my husband, he was sort of like my breath of fresh air. When I met him, he understood my pain because his father was abusive as well in his family. And he's the only one to this day that knew about my father abusing me as a child. People would speculate. They would ask questions. But I always tried to protect my dad because deep down in my heart, I wanted to be daddy's little girl. And I would have done anything to get that feeling for just one moment in time. So I took the abuse. I didn't say anything. His friends would speculate. My mom would speculate. I never said anything. So it wasn't like petty abuse. Like, it wasn't just verbal, it was physical, mental, everything you could think of. I remember when I was little, I used to say to him, what would it take for you to love me? I used to ask him, why? What would it take? What do I have to do? See, parents don't realize that what we become adapted to as a child, that's what we adapt to in our adulthood. Because I was so used to being abused by my father, when my husband started to be abusive, I was submissive to it automatically, because I thought that as long as I don't say nothing, my husband would love me. The same way I thought if I didn't say nothing to my dad or about him, that he would love me. But here I am, almost 30 years later, always in and out of a hospital bed with some type of bruise or scratch or fracture. No pun intended. And I'm tired, y'all. I'm so tired. Dealing with abuse, you feel so alone. Mentally, you just feel so trapped. And then you develop bad behaviors because you just want to feel loved. You just want to feel wanted. You just want to feel like somebody, at least one person, cares about you. But when you find yourself always walking out of the hospital alone, or sitting in a hospital bed by yourself, or taking x-rays by yourself, you start to ask yourself, like, what am I protecting? Who's gonna protect me? And that's why I'm trying to find the courage to do this video. Dealing with abuse is not easy, guys. And if you know anybody, and I mean anybody, it could be a child that has gone through something traumatic, don't judge them, because you don't know. There's two sides to a story. You don't know. People hide their pain. That's what we're taught. We're taught to hide our pain. We're taught to just keep going and ignore the pain. And that's what I have done most of my life. Hide my pain. Nowadays, I struggle with really, really bad anxiety. I have anxiety attacks, and oh my God, they feel horrible. They feel like you're dying. Like they just feel like your body is shutting down. You can't breathe, you can't think, and you can't control it. You can't control it. I've only dated 2 people after my marriage. And coincidentally, they had a little bit toxic ways about them as well. And it's funny because you don't plan on it, and you don't always want to look out for it either, because you don't want to be reminded of what you've been through in life. You just hope and pray that you'll find good in someone for once, right? But when you do meet somebody and they start to show those toxic ways, it's like you took 10 steps forward just to go all the way back. Because then you gotta reel yourself back in and say, okay, there's red flags. But you just want to believe that the person has some type of good in them. You just want to believe that you are lovable, so you tolerate it. You ignore the signs. And I'm here to tell you, it's not worth it. If you're better off alone, you're just better off alone. Until the right person comes around you. Loneliness can lead you down a destructive path. I've had a lot of people come around me that know my story, that know me and my husband, and they see me today and they ask me, how do you do it? How are you still sane? How are you not on drugs? How are you not an alcoholic? How are you not out in these streets? How do you do it? And I really want to know the same thing. How do I do it? When I got out of the hospital yesterday, I asked myself, how long you gonna go through this? How long you gonna protect everybody but yourself? If it's because of love, they could keep it. You could love yourself. You don't need their love. This is not love. And how am I gonna teach my kids love if I keep accepting this behavior? And then I found my answer. I put myself through this because I didn't want to disappoint my babies. I didn't want them to find out the truth behind their idol, their grandpa, or their father. I was protecting them. I sacrificed for them like any other mother would. I don't want the trickle effect of my past and my history to turn over into their lives. I want to break this generational curse. It stops here. It stops here. I want my children to be healthy young men in this world that represent love and respect and confidence. I don't want them to grow up and remember me a broken woman, a bitter woman. And it's taken everything in me to finally open up. If anybody knows me, I'm a very quiet person. I hold things in until I can't take it no more. And when I tell you guys, this is almost 30 years. I've been holding it in. But when I look at my babies and how much they hate seeing me like this, I've decided that enough is enough. They have seen me like this enough. I need to take some responsibility. Sorry, someone called me again. I need to take some responsibility, and I need to break this pattern right here, right now. And I really, honestly, I don't care who wants to judge. I don't care who wants to assume. I don't care who wants to say what. My kids are all I have left, and they're all I'm living for. I provide for my kids. I do. They live a happy, healthy life financially. As a young single mother, I get so much compliments. You can come to my house any time of the day. My kids are comfortable. Their home is clean. They have everything to entertain them. And I do it on my own. And I don't spread my legs to do it. Okay? So they deserve to have a new beginning. And I'm gonna do it right now. My kids deserve a different chapter. Just because I come from abuse and just because their father comes from abuse doesn't mean they have to. They don't have to. They don't have to absorb it. They don't have to analyze it. They don't have to let it define them as young black men. You know, they could be very stereotypical out of here with our young black men. I don't want my boys to be angry. I want my guys to be productive, loving, respectable, ambitious young men. But it starts here and it starts now. So now I'm saying something. Everybody that's been ridiculing me, making their judgment, now you know my truth. Yes, I'm traumatized. Yes, I'm broken. Yes, I need to heal. But at the end of the day, I'm doing just fine. I'm not on drugs. I'm not attacking people because of my issues. I'm not out here trying to create conflict or tear people down. I hold my head high and I focus on building a life for my children. If it's the last thing I do before I die, I want to know that my kids are okay because I'm all they have and they're all I have. Now, I say all this to say, if you know anybody that's going through what I'm going through or has been, tell them this. You have to think about yourself and nobody else. Because that's where I went wrong. I was too busy thinking about how me defending myself would affect anybody else around me or in the family. And I've suffered long enough. My kids have watched me suffer long enough. The court system is horrible. Horrible. Because when you're the victim, you get treated as if you're not. Okay? It doesn't matter what you say or do. The victim is treated like crap. There's no justice. You could get as many lawyers as you want. Okay? And as much as the individual that you are defending yourself against, as long as they know how to manipulate the system, consider it done. I've learned that the hard way. The hard way. I suck at lying. I don't know how to lie to save my life. So that's why my life isn't being saved. These men get away scot-free every time. When the judge is looking at bruises and scars on my body and police reports saying that I didn't do nothing wrong and hospital reports with proof of my injuries, these men walk away scot-free because they know how to manipulate the system. I'm standing here, right now, doing this video for all of you women out there that feel stuck like me, that feel trapped and lost and alone and burdened and have nobody in your corner. You can't even think straight because you're tired of suffering, especially at the hands of people that say they love you or once loved you. Use me as your vice, as your support. I am not afraid to be ridiculed. If I could go through this my whole life, what more left is there for anyone to say about me? I've looked death in the face 3 times. 3. And I'm still here. There's a saying, where there's hope, there's life. And if you wake up every day with hope in your mind that you're gonna make it, you're gonna get out of it, you're gonna be okay one day, never lose faith. You will. You'll be okay. I'm here to tell you that you're gonna be okay. The only fight you can fight is just to remove yourself completely from these people. It's always their word against yours. And as long as they have somebody to back them up, just do yourself a favor. Just do yourself a favor. Just get away. No matter what it takes, just go. Never look back either. Don't you ever second guess your worth. Don't be like me. Know your worth. You deserve so much more. And you gotta go get it. No matter what. Stand in your truth. And respect yourself enough to go and never look back. That is the way to fight this battle. That is the way to get out of this. I'm telling you, I would never steer you wrong. I've been through it. The court systems, they don't care. They don't care. You have to be dead first. You have to be dead first. So save yourselves and listen to me when I tell you, you don't need nobody to love you. You can love yourself. You can love yourselves. You hear me? Uplift yourselves. Do anything it takes to mentally get there so that you can keep going and never give up. Don't you ever give up on yourself. You're worth it. I thank you for subscribing to my channel. I thank you for giving me a chance. I thank you for supporting me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.